Two countries involved. Question, Jared?
Yeah, why those two?
Liberia was purchased by the United States to return freed slaves after the Civil War if they wanted to go back to Africa. And Ethiopia was a Christian state. It was also a massive wasteland. Italy claimed it and tried to capture it 3 times, but each time the native Africans with traditional weapons defeated them. I explain it as this. Italy's a beautiful country. Great language, great food, friendly people. But when it comes to war, they're the biggest flip-floppers of all time. Whoever is winning, that's the side that Italy is on. And I believe the Italians went down there with their weapons and they were firing, and the Ethiopians like, oh my God, that's terrible. And then they got hit and they were like, it's not the blood, it's marinara. They have the mozzarella bullet and the meatball cannon. And they started eating the Italian ammunition and said, damn, this is good. And then they never did it. So anyway, so they tried, but they just can't do it. Look, Pregagazzi is the gun and not the work. I fire good and he eat the bullet. I don't know. You know? Caesar wouldn't put up with this crap. What are we doing? I don't even know. So anyway, so anyhow, if you're Italian, I'm sorry. It's funny though. All right. So, what's that? I do that all the time. Yeah. I'm like, what are you going to do? Shoot to me with the meatball cannon. Oh, hey. Oh, all right. Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. So anyhow, anyway. Some of the things that the Europeans will bring, education and churches, ideas of sanitation and medical care. The problem is a lot of the African conquered areas, there was no respect given to the Africans for their millenniums of achievement, and they were treated like little children. Well, here, let me show you how to do this. Ian, this is how you put a Pop-Tart in the oven, dear, or in the toaster. You have to press it down, and when it pops up, it's ready to eat, and you can then have breakfast. All right?
What if it's chocolate little mouse that doesn't buy Pop-Tarts because she doesn't think that?
Why? I'm sure she gets like a kelp cake or a kale cake or something. Seaweed's good for you, man. You make chocolate out of that stuff. Yeah. So anyway. So I forget what I was saying. Africa has always been connected. We know from cave paintings in Liberia and Libya and Algeria and France and Spain, but it is completely carved up. One of the leaders, a guy named Muhammad Ali in Egypt, when it was part of the Ottoman Empire, saw the future. And he will begin to modernize Egypt. He said if we become powerful, we can get rid of imperial, British tendencies. And he is around to see the idea of the Suez Canal being kicked around. A French engineer, God bless it, a French engineer will come up with the idea. But the Africans of Egypt are not able to pay for the entire canal, so they go, why don't we sell stock? Why don't we form a trading company for the Suez Canal? British Prime Minister Disraeli figured this out, had a bunch of shell corporations, dummy corporations, buy virtually all the stock, and so the British will own the Suez Canal. So what Muhammad Ali would hope would get rid of British imperialization, it only became stronger. That is the way Africa will remain through World War I. The Europeans will cling to it through World War II. The primary movers and shakers in Africa are the British and the French. The largest European language spoken in Africa is French. After World War II, there is the era of decolonization, where many countries in Africa become third world. and many are experiencing genocide like Rwanda and the Sudan, which we will talk about in class this week. Boom. Any questions on Africa? All right. Does that help? Thank you. All right. That's a lot of stuff. It's a big